The next problem is the complicated and expensive ESB. As you might remember, with a service-oriented architecture, the ESB, or Enterprise Service Bus, is one of the main components and is responsible for all the communication aspects between the various apps or services. The problem is that this ESB can quickly become bloated and expensive. This might happen because the ESB tried to do everything: routing, validation, authentication, everything. And when a single piece of code tries to do everything, it usually doesn't end well. In addition, because of its complexity, ESBs are very difficult to maintain, and organizations found themselves investing a lot of time and money in it. So, how can microservices fix this? Which attribute of microservices architecture can solve this problem? Well, the answer is, unsurprisingly, the smart endpoints and dumb pipes attribute. As you probably remember, the basic premise of this attribute is that these services themselves should handle all aspects of communication, and the communication itself should be dead simple. The communication protocol recommended by this attribute is REST, which is the simplest form of communication and is heavily based on the HTTP protocol, which means we should not reinvent the wheel, just use existing and proven methods of communication. Now, implementing the smart endpoint and dumb pipes attribute will get a system that looks like this. So as you can see here, we have several services communicating with each other using nothing more than the REST protocol. We don't have complicated, expensive ESB in between, and we don't need it. The services themselves handle the communication aspects and don't need any mediator to connect them. Now, remember that when we talked about this attribute, we emphasized two developments that occurred in the microservices world in recent years. First, more communication patterns emerged, and now connecting directly the services is highly discouraged. You should use the application gateway or the service discovery pattern instead, which we will discuss later in this course. In addition, as opposed to the REST-only nature of this attribute, new APIs appeared in recent years, and you should definitely at least look at them, if not actually use them. GraphQL and gRPC, developed by Facebook and Google respectively, offer interesting alternatives to REST and expose capabilities not exist in REST, such as push notifications, dynamic querying, and more. These APIs gain popularity quite rapidly, and you should definitely check them out. So that was the microservices solution to the expensive ESB, and now let's move on to the next problem's solution.